All right, you good?
Yep.
All right, over the links. I'm not even gonna say for the week of anymore because we got off track here the last 2 weeks, so we're back.
We're back, and it is a great Monday morning.
It's a great week to be back. Obviously, unless you're living under a rock, you know full well that the man, the myth, and now legend, like no other legend I can think of, came back and won the Masters yesterday.
What's his name?
His name's the GOAT.
That's right.
Remember our GOAT discussion?
Oh, yeah.
I still love Jack. I really do. And the older Jack gets, and the more he roots for Tiger, the more I love Jack.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Mm-hmm. So what were your impressions, Jordan? We'll start with you.
Well, not obviously. I'm stoked that Tiger is back and put on the green jacket again, but I was just stoked that it was a great tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The leaderboard yesterday was insane.
Yeah.
All morning and afternoon. Obviously, it was definitely a different year this year, being that they were worried about weather, so they went off a little differently on Sunday.
A first for that, yeah.
But it was just incredible to see all these different guys giving the top of the leaderboard a run.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's been a while since guys at the top of the leaderboard have had to feel that pressure from Tiger, and I definitely think that had something to do with it yesterday. Being Molinari struggled down the stretch, Koepka kind of faltered a little bit down the stretch as well, and Tiger was just his normal, calm self and just played the golf course like he knew how. He knew on 12, don't go for the pin, put it on the green, 2-putt, get your par. A par on 12 is like a birdie, especially when the guy you're battling against is in the water. I mean, you're gaining the stroke pretty quick right there.
I think the pressure of the Masters on the back nine is unlike anything that they experience.
Yep.
U.S. Open, Open Championship, PGA.
And I think obviously there's that Tiger pressure, but being that Tiger was in contention and at the top, the group was being followed by an insane amount of spectators, and they're not used to that. So I think that's something too.
But there's this mystique about the previous version of Tiger Woods being in the hunt and the Tiger factor. But you look across this leaderboard here. Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, all at 12, one shot behind. Koepka doesn't know the Tiger pressure. I mean, honestly,
right.
He wasn't wrapped up in that. Schauffele definitely doesn't. DJ was on the tail end of his resurgence. What was that, back in 2009? Tiger was player of the year that year, and he won like 4 tournaments or something. So DJ might know a little bit about it, but then you go through Day, Simpson, Webb Simpson probably has a little bit of it. But a lot of these guys, it's more the stories that they've heard or what they've watched on TV.
Right.
But I don't think that something like that ever goes away. Even if they haven't experienced it before, once he's back out there in the hunt, it's just like this novelty, this unique thing that's only Tiger Woods.
Right, and it's fun. Like, we talk about the Tiger effect. It's not just on the golfers or golf world. Like, after he finally clinched it, social media erupted. And, I mean, I was scrolling through my Facebook showing my roommate, just look at all these posts on Facebook. It's Tiger, 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 something different, Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. And, I mean, I wasn't going to complain. I was digging it.
Well, yeah, anybody that knows you or I know that we're massive Tiger fans. But to me, and since I'm quite a bit older than you, I moved to Florida the same day. The day I moved here was the day that he said, that press conference, Hello World, when he turned pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I remember sitting in the guy's apartment that I was staying at for the first couple weeks I was down here, watching that. And that came back to me yesterday. And look, he's the one of the primary. There was a lot of reasons why I got into this business. Definitely, pre-Tiger was not when I got excited with the game, but him and I are the same age, so I feel like I've kind of walked this journey on a different side, on the business side of the game with him, and he's been a huge factor in the highs that we've had as an industry and the lows too.
Right.
I mean, when Tiger went south, it kind of fell in line with when the golf industry kind of went a little bit south. So I'm stoked, definitely, but I'm curious as to how this will have an effect on golf. Will it be like the early 2000s, the boom that we had in our industry? I don't think, from the standpoint of the boom, and when we talk about the boom, it was a building boom. We were building golf courses like crazy. That's not going to happen.
No.
I think we've learned our lessons from that. But I truly feel like the industry, if we harness this right, we'll have a chance to kind of rebuild the numbers that we've had in the past. You agree?
Yeah, no, I would agree, especially with Tiger being back. I think a lot of people are going to come out of the woodworks that kind of stopped watching. They're going to come back and watch and play and start kind of buying different things, getting back into golf, and just even coming out to the golf course to watch. It's his effect doesn't just stay with one part of golf. It's all over golf. There's things on Twitter, people saying, now that he's back, can we bring back Tiger Woods PGA Tour video game? Like,
well,
can we?
That's a good question. Does all that hype from a commercial standpoint, does that all come back?
And look at the fact that Nike already had a commercial drummed up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Look.
Their tweet could have been a lot better. I don't know if you saw that, but
I didn't see that.
Oh, it was awful. It was just like, Tiger Woods won. Woohoo.
That was it?
Yeah.
I text you after it happened that I never had a doubt. I never had a doubt that he would win a major again.
I'm
but
pretty sure that I said he was going to win the Masters this year.
You did, and then there's proof on our previous podcast that you said that. But as big as a fan I was just kind of waiting for the inevitable to happen.
Right.
For something to happen.
I think the end of last year was a big step, obviously, for his confidence to be able to know, okay, I can still play with these guys. And if he knows he can be confident there, that he's going to be super confident coming into Augusta.
Yeah, definitely.
Even with he hasn't really played that well this year, but knowing how to play Augusta, he can still come in and be confident. And starting off the way he did Friday and Saturday really made it so that he could be Tiger Woods on the weekend.
I believe he was number one in greens.
Yep. He was number one in greens. He was number one in, I want to say 20-foot putts, or like outside of 20-foot putts or something like that. And he was top 5 in 2 other categories. I don't remember which ones, but...
Was it putting related or not?
I don't think so. I know one of them was green and reg, and one was 20-foot putts.
To me, he seemed like he did this differently. Obviously, he's never won
from behind
before. But I've got the leaderboard up here, and you're looking 70, which, I think he only had one round in his previous first rounds of his career that were under 70.
Yeah,
but 70 traditionally is...
When he wins.
Yeah.
He was, wasn't his...
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
But he goes 70, 68, 67, 70. And really, what you saw in 18...
That was, yeah.
In all honesty, he shot a 69 yesterday in my mind.
And on Saturday, it could have been even lower than 67. He had with
A lot of
the
putts that he-
little rain delay there that kind of softened the course. He had 2 putts on the back 9 that stopped a roll short of going in for birdie.
And then, and then that security guard, Barney Fife, tried slide tackling Tiger. That was something else.
Right.
And I watched the video. Somebody had reposted the video. Oh, I was watching on my phone, and it was Michael Breed and Brian Krall were doing the marquee group coverage, and they showed it in slow motion, which I'm sure everybody and their mother has seen it now. But Tiger's heel was up as he was taking a stride. If that guy, like, split second sooner had hit him, he probably would have sprained his ankle.
Right.
That was crazy. That was crazy. And that guy probably will never
No.
work at Augusta again.
No.
So
No chance.
I'm back looking at the leaderboard here, and typically what you see on a Sunday is a lot of guys just collapsing. But look at these final rounds: DJ 68, Schauffele 68, Koepka 70, which could have been better, 67 for Day, Simpson 70. The only two that I really think felt the pressure as you're going down here is Molinari and Finau.
Yep. 74, 72.
And I wonder who they were paired with.
just some goat.
Now, I really like Francesco Molinari. I think he's probably, over the course of the last 7-8 months, he's probably been the most consistent player in the world. But I don't know if the Tiger effect hit him up, or
Just do it here.
yeah, or if the Augusta effect hit him up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Technical difficulties, but that's why we do it on 2 different ways now.
No, yeah. We can keep rolling. I'm just gonna set this up and try to piece it together.
Okay. But yeah, no, I actually hadn't even taken a look at the leaderboard. That's crazy. You just go down the leaderboard, everything's red, and just Molinari and Finau are there in the black.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Molinari was kind of scaring me a little bit to start. He was so he hit how
Solid.
many clutch par putts to start on the front 9?
Mm-hmm.
He was just so calm, cool, perfect pace. And then that back 9, number 12, as soon as he put that one in the water, he kind of went from there. And then 15, I mean, he bad drive, tries to play it smart, hit a layup, hits it to layup, doesn't get into a great spot, and has his ball hit a pine cone on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
And drops it in the water again, double bogey 15. Like, that's just, it's nerves, but it's also just bad luck.
The lie looked a little squirrely.
Right.
Like it looked like it was packed down Monday type, which is very easy to either hit thin or to hit a little chunky. But man, that 12th hole, you know, I went back to when Spieth had his
That's what I
little
was thinking
collapse. You
too.
were thinking that
Yeah.
too? But four guys double bogeyed that hole in the last 2 groups. They were playing sixums. Let me go back here. I know I know Koepka doubled. I'll click on here.
There you go.
So Koepka had a double. Molinari had a double.
Yep.
Finau had a double.
And Finau's didn't even go in the water, right? His was
No,
just
he
did
went,
it roll in?
he went in the water
Okay.
too.
I just remember his sitting for a sec on the bank, and then
Who was playing with Koepka?
was that Simpson?
I'm not sure.
Or
who
Poulter?
Poulter doubled it too.
Schauffele.
Schauffele. Let's see, 12. Schauffele parred it.
Tiger shot on 12.
It was just
perfect.
it's that
And
grizzly veteran
And the thing is
playing the
his
smart
shot
shots.
went just as far as Molinari's, and you know what I mean. Like he just played the right line, knowing,
There it is,
okay,
Poulter doubled.
if I'm short, I'm in the bunker, not in the water.
Right. But I think Jack said that in the interview on Golf Channel that Tiger, and this is what I was getting to a little bit earlier before we got our audio all messed up. Tiger did this differently. He hit to the middle of the green. He saw what the two guys did,
Right.
and I don't know if it was a fact of the wind or what have you, but he went to the fat of the green. He did the same thing on all the other holes coming in.
The only spot where I got a little nervous, I forget what hole it was he had a pretty long shot in, and he had an iron, then he switched to his wood, and he airmailed it.
Oh, that was
But then he came back with a perfect
Yeah.
chip pitch shot,
Yeah.
right up next to the hole, tap in.
well. Let's go to Tiger's card. So final round, he had 4 bogeys, which again, the bogey on
The last
18,
one's right.
it is that's just an anomaly. So we'll throw that one out.
But
Bogey on
4 and 5.
4 is a tough par 3. And when you went with me, you just went to drive, chip, and putt, so
Yeah.
you didn't get to see the golf course. But it's every bit of 240 at its tips, and it comes down the hill a little bit. Massive bunker on the right, just like most of the greens at Augusta, like 3-tiered green.
Right, and that's stuff that you can't really see on TV unless you get the
No.
right angle.
Yeah, and he, if I remember correctly, I think he was short, considerably short. But he just hit a bad second shot and didn't get up and down. 5, he bogeyed 5 every single day. And 5, there was a lot of talk about the 5th hole before the week started with the lengthening of the 5th hole, and it was playing nearly 500 yards. I think it was playing 505.
Wow.
And before that, previous to the 40 extra yards that they added, it was the hardest hole on the course even back then.
Right.
But even though he bogeyed it, and I think Frank Novelo made this point in the coverage afterwards, even though he bogeyed it on Sunday, each of the first 3 days before that, he had put it in the bunkers, the fairway bunkers to the left, which really he had no shot of really anything positive coming out of it. Bogey at best type
Right.
scenarios. But what he did on Sunday is he hit 3-wood off the tee and took the bunkers completely out of play. Still a tough hole, and it's 505 and you're hitting 3-wood off the tee just to keep it in play. But again, Molinari, that was one of the first indications for me that Molinari wasn't quite the steely, veteran that he was previous.
Right.
He had hit it off to the right, and you could really tell, even though Molinari hit some drives that squeaked out past Tiger's, the thing that's made him good in the last few months, in my opinion, is he's throttled back a little bit.
You're right. He's throttled back, and when we say throttled back, I mean he's getting out driven by 5 yards. Like,
Yeah, that
it's not
doesn't
like he's
matter.
getting
Yeah.
mashed over, but like he can actually hit the fairway with his driver. He's controlling driver. He's hitting fairways. He's not spraying it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think he finally realizes that if I can just get it in the fairway, I'm going to give myself a chance on every hole.
Yeah, and he's got quite the opposite feels that Mickelson has. Did you see Mickelson's tweet?
Yeah, I saw your video that you sent me.
Look, I'm a Mickelson fan all of a sudden. I mean, and the funniest thing about that video that he posted wasn't so much about hitting bombs. It's the little dig he did at Matt Kuchar about saying we won't have any side action. He was talking about his pairing with Kuchar. Very few people really picked up on that 0.6% of what he was owed if he had won any kind. That's a dig at the Kuchar caddy situation, which was like, that was savage. That was Phil at his best.
Right.
But the other cool thing about that video was him driving up Magnolia Lane.
Right.
You don't see that very often. Jack, did you see the Jack video a couple years ago?
Yes.
where he was driving up Magnolia
Yep.
Lane and they stopped him and the security
Yep.
guard wasn't going to let him in.
Yeah. I think you showed me that one too.
That was something else. But Phil, at his age, he'll be what, 49? I think they said here a little bit. He's all about just crushing it, that was kind of what Tiger was doing in his prime.
Right.
He didn't give a crap where
He was just
the
swinging,
T-ball went,
right?
Just killing it. But now we saw this week he can win a different way, which is plotting himself around the golf course.
It also helped that his putter was back this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing he's actually been struggling with a little bit this year was his putter, and he got that under control. And imagine that he won.
You know, and I don't think there were some people that were saying his putter early in the week was a little bulky still and questionable. I don't think it was. He didn't think it was. It's just the greens have never played as slow as they have
Right.
ever until this year.
Yep.
And when we say slow, it's all relative. It's
Slow for Augusta.
Yeah. And if you go back and you look, if you watch a rebroadcast of it and look at all the putts that he missed that he should have potentially made, it was more of a speed thing than anything else. You know, they may have lost their line and missed it on the low side or whatever, but that's all speed. That has nothing to do with the reads or his direction.
Right.
So, there was a really interesting piece. I don't know if you saw it talking about his Cameron putter. Did you see that?
I don't think they did.
He's won. Now it's 15 majors. We got to start saying that instead of 14. But I think he had won 13 of his 14 majors with his Scotty. Now 14 of his 15. And they interviewed Scotty Cameron, and they talked about the precise specifics that Tiger wanted on this thing when he had it built out. And they were trying to put it in the video, the piece that they put together on Golf Channel. They're talking about the value of that putter.
There is no value. That thing's priceless.
And they had all these guys, Monty and all these guys. Monty laughed. He goes, 50 million, I think he said, or something. You can't put a price on that. And at the end of the piece, they had said that Scotty Cameron himself approached Tiger with an Asian investor, and Tiger just
laughed. Yeah.
No, he doesn't let his kids touch that club. That's what they said in the piece too.
I wouldn't either.
You know, I remember, man, when I lost my dad's
maybe, putter. I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on it, but maybe if Charlie ends up being a golfer, maybe Tiger lets him use it.
I don't know. So let's get beyond the Masters. I mean, everybody's gonna have another couple days of this Masters hangover.
I'm gonna be watching replays of that for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah. But what's next? I mean, so he's got Beth Page in front of him next month at the PGA. Remember, we've switched the lineup here.
Right.
And then it's Pebble Beach. He's won at both those places.
I can see him winning at least one more major this year. Mm-hmm. Being that he's going to have a lot of confidence now. Mm-hmm. And Tiger with confidence is scary. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that he's just going to go wild, but right. I believe that he can definitely at least get one more this year.
I agree. I think one more. And then this conversation of can he do... He goes by the all-time win record this year, without question. He'll pick up another major. That's, you and I agree on that. And then I can see him winning a 2 or 3, maybe even 3 beyond that. But at least 1 or 2 others of just regular tour events. Memorial. Possibly one of the tour or the FedEx playoff events.
Right. So when you mentioned the FedEx playoffs, you were telling me before that he's up to number 6 in the world.
He's 6 in the world. He went from 12 to 6 after the win. A lot of points for yesterday.
If he wins another major this year, does he make it to the top?
Oh yeah, he'll.
Do you think he makes it to the top by the end of the year?
He'll regain number 1 in the world, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it. It's on my phone here, but I was looking at it yesterday. His rank this time last year was 98th or something.
Oh, wow.
But then you go 6 months prior to that, he was in the 600s. So could others do something like that? Yeah, sure. Anybody that's gets on a little bit of a hot streak can gain quite a bit of
Right.
points. But I don't think the magnitude of this, like Rich Lerner, I think it was Rich Lerner, had something on Golf Channel talking about Muhammad Ali and him beating Frazier. I mean, all these different sports comebacks.
Nothing
Or-
compares.
No, hands down. See, it's different. If it's Michael Jordan retiring and then coming back, and say he won another championship with, where did he play?
But
Charlotte?
retiring and coming back is completely different than the whole debacle, injuries, and personal life that Tiger went through.
I mean, Ben Hogan is the only thing that you can put close,
Right.
Because he almost died in
Yeah.
that car accident. But the difference of the eras, this is a whole different ballgame. Because when Hogan was the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, you didn't have leaderboards like this.
No.
Not even
No,
close.
I mean, look how consistent Dustin Johnson's been over the past, say,
Sure.
3 years.
Yeah.
That to be able to beat him, Koepka over the last 3 years, Day over the last 3 years, Finau over the last year or two, John Rahm even, Molinari, this leaderboard's insane.
JT.
Fowler, Watson, Poulter.
Now, Spieth had a little bit of a comeback after his 75. He went 3 straight rounds in the subpar. And he'll get his shit together. Spieth will be back.
I think with Spieth, he vaulted to the top so fast and had all that recognition
Mhm.
and a lot of pressure, and now he changed some things with his swing or his equipment and this and that, and some personal life stuff is going on, good stuff, but I think he'll kind of settle in and he'll definitely be back towards the top soon, and I can't wait. I would love to see a Woods v. Spieth battle.
And you know, Rory was a big part of the early part of the week and then kind of faded out.
Right.
I really,
I was hoping he would be in contention.
I loved what he said in his press conference
Mm-hmm.
about just the place that he's at as a person now.
Right.
And you can't separate the golfer from the person. I mean, because these guys are in the limelight, so any move that they make, anything that they say is going to be put under a microscope. But Rory's just trying to get this balance, and I think this is where Spieth is too, of recently married, same with Spieth, probably, I don't know if either one of them are thinking about a family yet. Is Rory's wife pregnant?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's the case. But either way, I mean, these guys, think about how hard it is. Well, you don't know yet. But think about how hard it is to try to balance stuff with work and
Right.
life
Yep.
for just mortals like us. And then you're the most recognized person on the planet. Tiger, I would say, is probably in the top 10 of most recognized people on the planet. That comes with a lot of heavy lift and a lot of weight and trying to figure everything out. And then he's been under the spotlight with, his addictions, we'll just call it and leave it at that, of certain things.
Right.
And, he's had a lot to come through. So I think he's at a place now that the balance is there.
Right.
Which, to me, at 43, he'll be 44 at the end of the year. He's got 10 more years. Now, if he stays in this good place. And then Rory, this is why I'm excited about Rory. I feel like he's getting that now at 30. I think he's just turning 30 or just turned 30. And Tiger's just learning this stuff,
Right.
getting his everything connected right now. So it bodes well for guys like Rory, guys like Spieth. Spieth is still kind of in his slump.
Thomas.
I mean, these guys
Fowler.
are continuing to learn from him.
Yep.
They got excited as kids to play.
I still get excited.
Well,
to
yeah.
see him play well.
And you saw all those guys hanging
the
out
end.
by the scores
Yeah.
area. That was awesome. And Bernard Longer was right there too.
Right.
I mean, how cool is that?
Longer, Watson, Thomas. Who else did I see? Was Ricky? I think I saw Ricky.
I think the ripple effects of this could even play into the President's Cup's going to be wild with him as a playing captain.
Right.
But how these guys already looked up to him, he should be the next Ryder Cup captain, in my opinion. I don't know if Phil's going to get the nod. Phil would be perfect too.
That'd be good too, though.
But man, the ripple effects of this, if it continues, could be far-reaching.
Right.
Team golf for the USA and Olympics. And
Yeah.
Jesus, the Olympics. Tiger winning a gold medal. When's the next Olympics? 2 years?
Next year?
Is it next year?
Yeah, I think so.
How sick would that be? Him winning a gold medal.
Be insane.
All right, so we've exhausted. You can't. We haven't exhausted.
We could
the
talk
Tiger.
about Tiger
We
all
could
day
talk
long.
about Tiger all day. I wanted to touch on a couple other things. Wanted to send a note of congratulations out to our winners of the Best Pee Wee Golf Swing in the World competition. And I'll go through the list here quick. We're going to have stuff up on. Obviously, it's already up on our Facebook page. I'm going to open or update on our Little Linksters website. Under 3, first place Zach Wolf from Australia. Second place Delkin Sullivan from Watertown, New York. And third place Andrew Wilder from Andover, Massachusetts. These kids are all 2 years old, Jordan. 2 years old. Two. And again, this is why we do this contest. I'm going to butcher the names in some of these other age groups, but in the 3 to 4, first place Eli. How do we say that?
I would go Cabo Teja.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Tied for second, his brother, who's a year younger, Leo. Tied for second, Penny Roach. She's 3. And also tied for second, Grayson Lee. He's 4.
That's how good these swings were. The judges couldn't choose.
No, it was insane this year. So the two boys, Eli and Leo, are from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Penny's from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Grayson's from Georgia. In the 5 to 6, another name I'm going to butcher, Alejandro. I think his parents said he goes by Alex.
Balbuena Cruceta.
That sounds pretty good. He's from the Dominican Republic. He wins in the 5 to 6 year old category. And second is Beckett West from Granada Hills, California. We've seen Beckett's brother win the contest before. So it's cool when we're seeing siblings in here. And in third place is Trevor Melendez from New Jersey. In the 7 to 8, Jaden Song, who's won before. So it's another repeat champion, this time in the 7 to 8 category from Burbank, California. Thomas Owens from Ireland came in second. And our good buddy Ty Bogey came in third from Oviedo, Florida. Ty has previously won before, and he's a young man that we know. In the 9 to 10, in first place, Alex Zhang from British Columbia, Canada. He's 10. In second place, Jayden Sonnenben, 10 years old from Windermere. He's one of our junior leaguers. That's pretty cool. And in third place, Chase Ion from Chuleta, Florida, another local kid.
Local, yeah.
An 11 to 12-year-old. Jordan, see that name in first place?
I do.
Mara King from Longwood, Florida.
Not a girl.
Look at that name in second place. Bradley Royer from Winter Garden, both play on our Little Linksters tour. And tied for third, we have Sophia Folds. She's from Ottawa, Canada. And Luca
Yep.
Bianchi, 12 years old from Italy. So we had over 200 entries again this year. We had a really good mix of kids from all over the place, but even looking at the places that some of our winners are from, Australia, a couple from Canada, Dominican Republic, Northern Ireland, Italy. That's pretty cool.
It's so cool.
And in some of the video, I did get videos from all the kids thank you video for thanking the judges. Once I get those up online, I'm sure those are going to get a lot of plays and a lot of hits because they're pretty cool. But the reason we do this, you could look at the video by Nike that they just put out, and at the very end, you got a 3-year-old Tiger Woods saying, "I'm going to beat Jack Nicklaus." Who's to say that any of these kids
can't beat?
And it's really, you know, we can look at it from that standpoint, but we can look at it too from the number of emails that I get of people thanking us for doing a competition like this because they had so much fun putting the video together.
Yeah, I had a couple different parents that would reach out to me about when the deadline was to send their videos and when the announcement would be made for the winners and stuff, because their children were just so excited to be able to send their video in or find out how they did, and it's so cool. Obviously the parents get excited too, but it's so funny to have these parents telling me, yeah, my son or daughter won't stop asking me to reach out to you guys because they want to know.
Yeah. And Jordan and I, off camera here, probably at lunch today, we'll talk about some things I've been thinking about what we do at Little Linksters, how it's still kind of unique 10 years later. And we've branched ourselves doing some stuff with older kids, but at the core is these young kids. And I've got some ideas on how we can reach out to this young man, Zach, in Australia, and kind of get him into what we try to do. You know, whether it's doing remote stuff.
Right.
That's probably going to be one of the prizes. I haven't announced any prizes because, honestly, I haven't got a lot of buy-in this year, unfortunately, from previous year's prize sponsors. But one thing I want to do is have us as coaches, you know, just keep an eye on these kids as they grow and as they learn, and whether they want to send videos to us and do some analysis or whatever. But, you know, nurturing these kids at young ages, whether they become superstars or not, I could care less. I honestly could care less. I know you're in the same boat as I am. But it's all about exposing them to this game, letting them learn about themselves through this game.
And making sure that they always enjoy it.
Yep, exactly. So that's it for this week's Love of the Links. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Again, we've had a 2-week hiatus. I've kind of kicked the bucket on the small bucket, but I'll start filling up the small bucket with some golf balls again here soon. Jordan, any last things?
No, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in as usual. We appreciate it. Don't forget to reach out to us with any questions or some things that you may want to have us talk about. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, it's Love of the Links Golf Radio. We're here at Little Linksters. We love what we're doing, and we hope you do too. We'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Go Tiger.